Good morning, friends. I'm so glad you could join me for Kid Minute today. I'm Miss Starleigh and I have a story to share with you. It's one of my most favorite stories ever. It's called Stay, a girl, a dog, and a bucket list. And I'd love to share it with you and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. When Astrid came home from the hospital, Eli was there waiting. He was Astrid's first friend. In time, Eli also became Astrid's personal bodyguard, her favorite pillow, and sometimes her best hiding place. Astrid and Eli had many things in common. They lived in the same house, they ate at the same table, and they slept in the same bed. There was only one difference. Astrid was a girl and Eli was a boy and a dog. As they grew older, Astrid began to notice other differences. "I'm getting bigger than you," she said. "Yes," thought Eli, "but I'm getting older than you." It was true. For every birthday Astrid celebrated, Eli had the equivalent of 6 or 7 birthdays, sometimes 8. When Astrid was 6, she was still a young girl, but Eli was an old dog. By then, Astrid noticed it too. "You walk so slowly now," Astrid told Eli one day at the beginning of summer. They stopped in the park to buy a bucket of popcorn. "Popcorn is nice," said Astrid, "but let's pretend we're eating spaghetti with meatballs." "Spaghetti with meatballs," thought Eli. "That sounds delicious." After they finished their snack, Astrid took Eli to the playground. "Eli," Astrid said, "have you ever been down the slide? You really should before you get too old." So with Astrid's help, Eli slid down the sun-warmed slide. That was fun, thought Eli. Who knew? "I'm going to make a list," Astrid said, "of all the things you should do before you get too old. We can do everything on the list together." The first thing on the bucket list was a bike ride. "I'm not sure I can teach you how to ride a bike," Astrid told Eli the next day, "but I can give you a ride on mine." And she did. This is better than riding in a car, Eli thought. The next day, Astrid took Eli to the library where they checked out lots of books about dogs. "I don't know why I've never read to you before," said Astrid. "I'm glad I put this on your bucket list." Me too, thought Eli, who enjoyed looking at the pictures. A week later, they went to see a movie. Astrid asked for special permission from the theater owner. "I'll be quiet," Eli promised. They came home and slept under the stars until it started raining. And then they went inside and Eli slept with Astrid under the covers. That was also on the bucket list. The following week, Astrid gave Eli a bubble bath, and after that, she brushed his clean fur for a full hour. "Look how handsome you are," Astrid said. "I am handsome," Eli thought. "I'm also very old." It was true. Astrid knew it too. She had added one more thing to the bucket list. The last treat would be a surprise for Eli. On Saturday night, Astrid took Eli to a restaurant for dinner. 2 plates of spaghetti with meatballs," Astrid told the waiter. And when their meals arrived, Astrid beamed. "This is what you deserve for being the best friend in the whole world." "It's delicious," thought Eli, "but I wish we were having popcorn in the park." As the weeks passed, Eli's fur faded from gray to white, his eyesight became weak, and his legs often ached. He no longer had the strength to walk to the park. So they stayed home and remembered their happy times together. "Is there anything else you want to do before you get too old?" Astrid asked. "Anything at all? Whatever it is, I'll add it to the bucket list." "This," thought Eli. "Just this." Being with Astrid was the only thing left on Eli's bucket list. It was the only thing that had ever been on Eli's bucket list. And that's the end. Boys and girls, I love this story so much because Eli reminds me of our Father in heaven. God desires nothing more than to spend time with you and me and all of his children. He loves us so much, and he really just wants our time. There's nothing on his list that's more important than that. So boys and girls, today I just bless you to know how much your Father in heaven loves you, to know that he desires to spend time with you. Doesn't matter if you're playing in the park, if you're laying in your bed not being able to fall asleep. God just wants to spend time with you, and you can spend time with him by saying a prayer, by reading the Bible, by singing to him, or just telling him about your day. He loves you, and he's interested in everything about your life and anything you want to share. The happy things, the sad things, the everyday normal things. God just loves you, like Eli loved Astrid, and he wants to spend time with you. So I hope today and every day you make sure you spend time with your Heavenly Father who loves you, because that's how you get to know him better and to know his love, and then to be able to share his love with those around you. Have a wonderful week, boys and girls, and we'll see you next week for Kid Minute. Bye for now.